Musicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. With Jazicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. I know you were looking for something, maybe you'll find it right here, baby.
A Make Your Own Trophy Records production. Everyone, welcome back to Musicality Mondays. I'm your host, Jazicality. Thank you so much if you're watching on the podcast platforms and if you're right here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, you can now buy a Musicality Mondays hoodie and you can donate to the Musicality Mondays Fund so that we can get a brand new audio interface with more inputs so that we can have bands on the podcast or just bands with more instruments. You understand. Anyway, we have a very special guest today. He is a producer. He is an engineer, right? Yes.
Yeah.
He's in two bands, Runaway Ricochet and Beneath Green. Is it just two bands?
And the confused sometimes. I'm confused about that part.
And he just opened a brand new recording studio with his friend, Jason Andriano. We have today Mason Meyers, everybody.
Hi.
Oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Just staying busy.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that.
All
so,
right.
what are you busy with lately?
All right. So generally, my day starts at 8:15 when my alarm goes off,
Okay,
and then I lay in bed for like 30 minutes.
that's nice.
Yeah. And then I get up, get ready, and then I go to a tattoo shop
Yes. Oh, yes.
for about 3 hours. Usually I work at the tattoo shop from about 10 a.m. until about 1 p.m. And
That's Dead Eye Tattoo, right?
yes, that's Dead Eye Tattoo.
With
and
Ashton.
With Ashton Gruyere. I opened that tattoo shop with him. This is the second iteration, actually, of the tattoo shop.
yeah.
And we opened the first iteration of that shop back in 2022, February 2022, roughly. And I do all of the back-end work. I do, like, managerial stuff. So I do, like, all of his scheduling and answering emails and bookkeeping and just all the, shop cleaning and inventory and all the stuff that needs to be done so that he can just draw and tattoo.
Yeah.
And so I do that for about 3 hours a day, give or take. And then once I'm done with that, I will scoot on over to my second job, which is right now at Dayblock Brewing Company. I was hired on to do bookkeeping there, so I used my experience that I got from working at the tattoo shop and got in contact with Jeff, and he was looking for somebody to kind of help make sure the books are caught up and functioning correctly. So I took on that role. I do light booking there as well. I don't do much outreach as far as booking, but it's like as inquiries come in, like I'll kind of like answer those and shoot days out to bands to book them and things like that. So I've been doing a little bit of that, and then I do that for about 2 to 3 hours again, from about 1:30 to 4 usually, like 1:30 to 4:30. And then after that, I go to the studio from like 5 to midnight or whatever. And that's pretty much my day in a nutshell. On like just a regular day, there's nothing else going on. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And there's usually something else going on. So it's just a lot of driving around and like meeting up with people and doing other stuff. But yeah, starting to book a lot more sessions at the studio now. So, those are a lot of weekends. That's kind of what I'm doing at the studio, is like actually recording. A lot of evenings I'm doing recording, and otherwise just doing like general like studio. Honestly, it's still construction essentially.
Yeah.
Right now I'm working on my mic locker.
What's that?
That's where I store all my microphones, and I'll store extra equipment. David Rayfield left his drum kit at our spot for a little bit, so that's where I'm going to store. I have 2 kits there now, which I have my kit and then David's kit there, and so like I'll be able to store kits in the drum mic or the drum lock, store kits in the mic locker. So I'm working on building that out. We had to double sheetrock that, and then I'm mudding it right now. So after this, I'm going to go sand that. And
Yes,
then
of course.
once I'm done with that, I'll paint it and build a shelf in there, and then I'll be able to move all the stuff that's just like clogging up my ISO booth back into the mic locker, and then we'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to make the place look cool. So
Yeah, and it does. It looks very cool.
we're working on it. It's getting there. But
Do you have any pictures online?
I have some pictures on our Instagram. We are here actually very soon. We're going to be getting fresh photos of the space, because the ones that I have right now are kind of like, it's like right after we built it out. We didn't have any instruments or anything in there, and so we're gonna get some pictures with all the stuff set up, and then I think we're gonna get some headshots of everybody that's there too, so that we can do kind of more of like a traditional introduction. I'd like to do like kind of like a grand opening kind of thing in the next couple months, because right now we're just doing like, it's mostly like word of mouth
Yeah.
kind of stuff, where I'm not really doing a whole lot of like specific targeted marketing or things like that. It's just like I just hit up my friends and say, hey, you should come check out the studio, and they come through.
It's working.
And check it out.
I just went there. It's a great space, guys. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
You get to hang out with this guy. Look at that face.
Cool.
You're getting cool.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing, and yeah, I'm hoping that we can have a website up and running here in the next couple weeks as well. It's churning right now. My good friend Kevin, who rents out our Studio B, at the studio, he's kind of taken on the role of putting together the website. So right now, pretty much all we need for that are updated pictures, and then we'll be able to actually
cool.
release or drop the website. So
Yeah.
so we'll get that on the books. We're putting carpet in the lobby tomorrow, so that's going to be sick.
Lobby.
And then after that, hopefully we can get somebody in the next week or two to get some pictures, and then I'll actually I'll pay money to Meta to have sponsored advertisements and stuff. But
Yeah.
we'll get there. I don't know.
So you are implementing a lot of camera action there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So can you tell us more about what you're offering to artists as far as
Definitely.
videos and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. So the whole reason that Jason and I even went forward with building out the studio was because, as someone who I worked out at Minneapolis Recording Company for a couple years. Shout out Tony. What up if you're watching? I've done sessions at River Rock and the library. I've been out to Hideaway, which is also a super cool spot. And I've been to a bunch of studios around town, and there, I mean, there's a bunch of really nice studios, and I just kind of was seeing that there wasn't a lot of actual how do I put it? They had clients, and they didn't necessarily need to do any specific targeted marketing, or there was no need for them to put out a bunch of content to try to get the ball rolling or drum up clientele, because they the library's been around for 13 years and Hideaway's been around for a super long time, and so it's these places are kind of they're legacy spots at this point.
Yeah.
People, musicians know about every nice studio. Terrarium's been around forever, and I don't think I've ever seen record here at the Terrarium.
Yeah.
People just go there. So I just kind of saw a niche where if I could make some fun and interesting content in studio and market that, then I figured people would see that and potentially want to record there, you know. And so with that, it's if I can offer a good video and audio at an affordable rate for pretty much any musician, then I figured that would be a really nice opportunity, so that's kind of how it all started. Was okay, how do we integrate this video and the audio and get that to the people so that they can afford it. And that was what Jason and I were kind of brainstorming when we first got all the gear, which I could get into how I got all that, if you want. But yeah, so we offer we do offer video. We have 3 PTZ cameras that we have right now. Plus, we've got a good buddy Braden, who is a videographer that's been helping me out with just lighting stuff.
Nice.
He's able to he's a student at Augsburg right now, and he's able to get like nice equipment and bring it in. So we're able to like actually like have like our PTZ cams, plus he can bring in like video equipment and lighting and stuff, which is super great. And so we're basically just trying to offer like, if a band wants to come in and record and they want like 6 reels from the session of like fun moments that happen or something, like we can do that. If a band wants to come in, and right now I've been actually doing a lot of like Tiny Desk recordings.
Yay!
So we just did one with Ani XO, and there's a couple other people that
yeah.
I've got scheduled to do some Tiny Desk stuff this month and next month. So that's super exciting, and that's like the point. Like that's like that's like what I was thinking and imagining when I like initially wanted to set this all up, was like, how do I set up like a Tiny Desk studio where like a band can come in and pay $200 and get good quality video and audio out the door.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what we did. So, and then the other big thing about what we have is with the integrated video is we just did this with Alec Glovitz with Coffee Break Entertainment. We had our first inaugural live stream event, which was super nice.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So we are doing a monthly songwriter round at the studio. It's going to be the first Wednesday of every month. And essentially I just partnered with Coffee Break, and Alec is helping me with like booking the event and finding artists who are interested in coming in. We did a dry run on Wednesday night, and it was just like, hopefully this works. Like we'll see where the problems are and address them for the next one, because this was kind of like it was marketed, but like we didn't. I mean, Alec pushed it a bit. I didn't push it a whole lot because I was like, I hope this doesn't completely fall apart and people just like hate it or something. And so we did it. It went off really well. We had 3 artists, and they all did. They did 4 songs each, and basically we just had like a acoustic guitar and vocal setup, and then we had a piano and vocal setup.
Okay.
We were recording all the audio live and then routing the audio to. We have a video computer that we have in the control room, and so I routed the audio to the video computer, and then we streamed off of that using OBS onto Twitch. And so I was able to use the high quality audio from the recordings and then immediately then broadcast that out, which was super cool. And everything worked.
That's impressive.
Like it was supposed to, which I was not necessarily expecting.
Right.
So I mean, that just gets me really excited for things to come. We've got, I've got a couple other. I don't know if I should drop this yet, but let's just say I have a couple other partnerships in the works.
That's a perfect way to say it.
Some cool events planned for February and beyond.
Yes.
So everybody keep your eyes out.
Sorry, this episode comes out like in a couple days on Monday, actually. So
sick.
It's a good time to say it.
Perfect. I'm excited. But yeah, so bunch of video stuff going on. We're gonna start putting a lot of video content out here in the next month. So
yeah, and I love that you guys are already getting like a lot of attention. So I was like looking at your Instagram. I'm like, oh my God,
it's been so fun. Like, and there's people I've like when we first opened. I guess we didn't even like first open yet. Like, it's just been kind of like a trial period essentially. But like when I first was like, I think it's time to bring people in. I just like sent a bunch of messages out to like everybody and was just like, hey, like. You should come and check this place out.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like, please let me record you. It's like, I just want people like at this point, and like especially in October when I was like first doing stuff, I was just like, please come through. I want your feedback. I want like your honest opinion. I had in my mind, I had a general conception of what it would be, because I mean we built it from the ground up. So like it was like like studs, I could see through the walls.
Oh wow.
To, like at one point. So like I had a general like idea of like what it would be. But as like we started to like, prime the walls and put the flooring in and like do all the paint, it's like, okay, now like I'm at a point where it's like, what do I do with this space? Like I was so focused on like I need to build this and make it an actual room for so long that I didn't really sit back and say like, how do I want this room to look? So there was a lot of decisions that were kind of like split decisions where I was just like, I need to do something to this. Like, otherwise I will just sit here and do nothing while I'm trying to figure it out. So I just like, like we have like wood panels on the walls that we put up that I found at Menards for like $15 a panel, and I was just like, I'll just get these because they look classy and they'll be easy to install, and like we'll just go from there. Like if I need to, I'll just pull them down at some point, but like it'll work. And so it's like I've been trying to bring people in and just be like, what do I do? Like what do you see here? Like Sam Bramble I brought in, 'cause like I really want that kind of like artistic eye. I brought it, like the Flavor World, Drew and Eli from Flavor World, I brought them through, and it's just like, because I have so many different fun little ideas to like make certain aspects of the space pop, and I love bringing people through that like are visual artists and things like that to be like, okay, like I want the space to like really like be eye-catching, but at the same time, like I don't know, there's a whole philosophy I could get into about that, but because like in the recording studio as a musician, like I don't want the musician to be distracted while they're doing their thing, but I also want there to be just like little elements that like kind of like you don't see at first, or like are maybe hidden in a certain or at a certain angle or that kind of thing. Yeah. So that it's like obscured until you find it, almost like that kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know, I just skirting the line of like being really intriguing, but like not like, making people's like ADHD like overload. Yeah. So like it's been interesting to bring people through and just be like, what do you think about this? That kind of thing. So
I definitely think it has that vibe. And I like, I'm forgetting the color of the walls in the, like the part that the musicians go into. Is it green? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought it was green, but I didn't want to feel like I wasn't remembering right.
In the live room, there's two green, the two green walls face each other, and then there's wood paneling on the two long walls. But and then like there's like big sound panels that I built out of 2x4s and felt and insulation. And like that was like those panels. I was just like, how do I fill this wall? Like essentially, I was like, and I just kind of built 3 like 8x5 panels of absorption. Because I was just like, I guess I'll just put something up. And it looks, I like how it looks. It's pretty cool. It might change at some point, but
it's very professional looking.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And there wasn't anything that I was just like, oh my God, what is that? So I think your vision came to life. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. I love the floors. They're like wooden, and it just gives a very. Is that the part you're carpeting?
No, I'm carpeting.
Yes.
So the lobby right now is the only flooring that like is like the original, and it's just like a weird like mishmash of random like painted floor, and like there was a part of the lobby that like there was, so a long time ago the building that we're in was like a industrial print shop. Oh. So they had like heavy printing machinery. Like I think they printed like large signs and things like that. Or, like, so like you can see on the floor, like I had to fill like grooves with like self-leveling concrete, because there was literally like you could see where people were walking just back and forth all day.
Oh my God. Okay.
And there was literally like the floor like had waves in it. And so I had to like fill it all out, and so I had to flatten it out. And so like you walk in the lobby and there's just like it's like wood, cement, wood, cement, wood, cement. So it's, and then like that's a big square, and then around that is just like weird like poorly painted wood, and there's like some part that's like, I don't know, weird kitchen vinyl looking stuff, and it's just like it's so ugly. So I'm
Poor
so
floor.
Excited to cover it. It's gonna be great.
The floor's like, what did I do to you?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding, but it's nice to hear that you put your heart and soul into this. Like every piece, like it's I don't know, it's inspiring. Well,
I appreciate it. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been very fun. It's something where, I mean, it's been July 2023 is when we got the keys to the space.
Oh shoot.
And so we did demo from July 2023 until January 2024, and then January 2024 until about late September we were building everything. And then and then October, I mean, I'm still doing, like I said, I'm still doing some like smaller scale stuff, but And then October we've been actually like able to record, which is great. So it's been a journey, and it's been super fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned so much, and I'm excited. I'm not tired of doing it, but there's a lot of other like random stuff that like I've been sort of putting off.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
like focus on this every single day for
Becomes tedious
12
sometimes,
months?
It's
Oh,
something
yeah,
that you
totally.
love, but like it's also something that has its stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it'll be something obviously that I'll never be completely done with, but like I am looking forward to the day where I can spend like 2 days back to back, like just like sitting on my couch for a minute.
Yeah.
But that's usually the most I get, and then I'll get antsy. Just like,
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay, I got to do something now. But yeah, I don't know.
Wait, is that okay? So like that happens to me. Is that a symptom of ADHD? Because I'm trying to I should probably go to the doctor, but like
No.
I just want to ask you. So
I don't think so.
okay,
I think
I
it's.
don't think so.
I like to think it's a human condition.
Okay,
like,
great.
It's like I feel like it's a good thing overall. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to just like. Well, and it's funny because it's like it's the grass is always greener kind of thing. Where
Yeah.
it's like, I've been it's been months since I've had a full day to do nothing, and
true.
then I just like in my mind I'm just always like, oh, I can't wait to just have a day to like, just do absolutely nothing at all, and then like.
Yeah.
It'll I'll have like a day where it's like, oh, I have like 4, or a week where it's like I have 4 nights in a row where I don't have to do anything, and then like by like night 4 I'm like, okay, like I almost feel guilty because
Yes!
like I'm just like I should be doing something. So I don't. Maybe it is a problem. I guess I don't know, but
I don't know.
it feels good to do things.
It
I
does.
guess. Like and I feel like it's like there's a cognitive element to it too, where it's like if you don't continue to do stuff, you kind of just like
it's just
like
it
you
feels
just-
strange
Yeah.
in like the atmosphere. I have like 7 different hobbies because I can't do nothing.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Strange,
it's
but-
like and I always think like, okay, maybe when I'm like 70
Exactly.
I'll just
Like maybe I'll just stay there and be happy with it. But
but
for now, we're young.
yeah,
we need to
exactly. And
do
it's fun.
stuff.
It's fun to do stuff. It's
It is
fun to
fun, yeah.
I really enjoy. I've been actually having the opportunity to get out to like a show every once in a
Yay!
while lately, which has been great because that's one
Yeah.
thing I hadn't been able to do for the last 8 months.
Oh my god.
So I just and I've been kind of keeping tabs on everything, but it's
Yeah.
just been tough to like really like keep. Oh, my phone's ringing.
Oh, okay, sure. I don't know. No, sorry. You can answer it if you want.
No, I'm not gonna answer it. I'm
You're
in
like,
a
I'm in
podcast
it.
right
Yeah,
now.
I like it.
But anyway, yeah, I was able to go to shows again, and it's like one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like I really have missed like interacting with people.
Yeah. For real.
And so it's been nice to be able to like actually like hang out with folks for an extended period of time again.
yeah.
So that's been nice. That's one thing that I have missed a lot from this whole experience is like the social aspect and the interaction aspect of it, So that's been great to get back into. I'm going to try to I hit I think 3 shows last month. I'm going to try to hopefully I'm on tour this month, which
Oh my
we
God.
can
Oh,
also
yeah.
get into, but
Yeah.
hopefully going to double up at least in the next in February. I'm going to try to see like 10
February?
shows. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Let's get into your tour with Runaway Ricochet.
Yes.
You're going on tour with my fiance.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Shout out Sam.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you about Sam.
Oh
He's
yeah, tell me
very-
about Sam. Oh my god.
He's the sweetest little guy,
He's a drummer.
and sometimes he'll go.
He's so weird, isn't he?
He's a little weird, but
Like, he's great,
it's
but,
very
like-
charming. I like Sam a lot.
Me too. He does a good Elmo voice.
Oh yeah, he does. He has a
Yeah.
very good Elmo voice. Arguably the best Elmo voice in the band.
Yes. I mean, I haven't heard your guys, but he sounds like Elmo for real.
Yeah, he's maybe too good. Does he like Moonlight as
What?
Elmo?
What's that mean?
It's like where he has like a second gig.
Oh,
Little,
sure.
like-
No,
Oh, okay.
but he might as well.
True.
That'll be some good money.
Yeah, no doubt. Elmo's
Voice acting.
Elmo's kind of loaded. I feel like if Elmo was
like,
like a
"Oh my
real
God."
person, he'd probably just like balling out.
Ball out!
Did you imagine Elmo like at the strip club?
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
That'd be so funny.
I don't know
I
if
mean, like,
want to.
no, because he's on a kid's show,
Aren't
but like,
they ending Sesame Street?
And then like he retires and he goes to the strip
Yeah.
club. I've
it's
been doing this for too long.
like, like old Elmo. That'd be kind of a funny shtick. Like,
That's insane. But yeah, tell
But-
us about the other band members, or if you have more to say about Sam, of course, I would be happy to hear about it. Whatever.
I'll only say the good things. No, we're we're going on tour.
Yay!
Woo! I'm gonna be so tired the
Yeah.
whole time. It's
Yeah.
gonna be. I mean, it's always a really fun time. Shout out Jason for always helping us with the van situation because
oh yeah.
that makes life so much more bearable.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to Eric's van, but it's a little small. It's a little cozy, and so with Jason helping us rent a van for the tours, that makes things just like it feels almost like we are like famous.
No, it does
basically,
because
like,
like that black van, right? Like with the
Yeah.
big seats and stuff.
Yep, yeah. This year we were doing the Ram 3500, I think, with the tall ceiling, and this next one is going to be I think it's a Ford Transit with the tall ceiling. So, and it's 12 seats,
Okay.
a bunch of storage. So that's going to be
Wow.
phenomenal. 12 seats for 6 people is just like, oh,
Phenomenal.
nice.
Yes. Because like then you all get a row or whatever.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly. Yeah,
it's
we
like,
got
"Don't talk
we
to
got the
me."
sleepy row in back, and then
Yeah.
2 people up front, and then splitting 6 seats with 3 people. Usually, so front to back, it's usually
Okay.
2 people,
Okay.
and then we got right behind is a row of 3, so that's 2 more people with a middle seat, and then the third row is usually where the cooler is.
Oh yeah.
And so that's
okay.
like the sandwich station. So there's one person in the cooler, and so that person's generally in charge of sandwich duty. I'm gonna say I miss David. He made the best sandwiches. So
Oh, yeah.
Joe Lundy, you have some big shoes to fill.
Make them sandwiches. Oh
Although I will say Joe probably does make a good sandwich.
no, probably because Sam gave me some of Keely's scotcheroos.
Oh, they're so good.
Keely is Joe's wife.
Shout out
right?
Keely.
And oh my god! So I woke up at like 3 a.m. right, and Sam's like, "Hey, check out the scotcheroo," and I'm just like,
Sam's
"What are you
awake.
talking-"
Just
He's
like-
just fucking awake, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, you're right." And I eat like at 3 a.m. too many times, and I'm just like, I'm trying to lose weight, but like, let me just go, whatever.
Forget about it.
He told me to look at it, and my fat ass was like, let me just try this. I'm just like, oh, this shit good.
So good.
I took
Yeah.
it to bed with me. I'm just like, I messaged her the next day. I'm just like, you really ate with that. So I looked up the recipe. And I'm gonna make those bitches.
They're so good.
I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Keely always makes a little thing of baked goods.
Mhm.
For
Shout out.
us. Yes.
So
Big
it's-
shout out.
I'm just
and
like, oh my god.
Joe is always super stocked on food, so I'm
Wow.
anticipating Joe might be like sandwich lord.
David, you
So-
better watch out, bro.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
coming for the crown.
we could have a sandwich off. We could
Oh
just
my god,
have
that'd
like
be so cute.
that actually would be kind of funny. Just like a little friendly competition on
Yeah.
sandwich construction.
Aw.
But but yeah, so we got the third row is
Oh, yeah, right.
sandwich row, and then the fourth row
Mm.
is usually where we keep all of like most of the suitcases and
Okay.
the bedding, and so that's sleepy row. That's like
Okay.
if somebody was like stayed up really late the night before,
Sam.
or well, Sam stays up late every night.
Well, true.
It's,
That's very true.
I don't know how Sam functions on like 4 hours of sleep.
couldn't
but,
tell you. Couldn't be me.
yeah, no, I got to get my 8, and I know for a fact that by like day 3 into the tour, I'm going to be running at like 60%.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a steady like 60% the whole time because it's the nice thing is the drives aren't necessarily super long,
That's good.
so that's nice. But yeah, it's some late nights and
Yeah.
usually some early ups, but
No.
yeah, but it's gonna be really fun. We're going
Yeah.
south
Okay.
this time. The
Where are you hitting?
last tour we went east, and this time
Okay.
we're going south. So we're going actually on Wednesday we go down to play Des Moines,
Okay.
and then after that we are in Kansas City,
Missouri.
and then we go down to Lawrence,
Never heard of that.
Kansas.
Okay.
That's oh no, wait, Lawrence is Kansas City. That's right outside of Kansas City, I believe. So
Okay.
after that we go down to Tulsa
Okay.
in Oklahoma.
I
We're
felt like you
doing-
wanted me to like be able to tell you. I haven't looked yet. So.
I could pull up the poster. No, I'm going to do it by memory. So we got Des Moines, Kansas City / Lawrence. We've got Tulsa. We've got, after Tulsa, we go down to Denton, Texas. And then we're going to Austin. And then I think we have a break. And so we're going to take, I think we're going to drive. I think it's our longest drive. We're going from Austin to New Orleans.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And so we have a break, and I think we're going to try to do the whole drive or a good majority of the drive like the next day so we can have an extra day in New Orleans.
That sounds nice.
So then we're playing in New Orleans. Then we have, what is it called? Pensacola? Is that it? Florida people chime in. I think it's Pensacola.
Capicola? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh, the Gabagool.
Yeah.
And then from there we go to Birmingham, I think, in Alabama. It's somewhere in Alabama. And then up to Memphis and then back. I think I hit them all.
You don't know about me. Big G-L-O and that G-L-E. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh my God, you turned
should
up
we
like you
play
did.
it?
No, I don't want to get copywritten.
No, like, should Runaway Ricochet play it?
Oh
in
my
Memphis?
God, that would be freaking hilarious.
Could you imagine Eric singing that?
Oh my God, I would die. I
fun.
would pay money to see that shit.
I would too.
He would
But
be
yeah, so it's gonna be
I would die. Oh my God.
it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm very stoked. We just recently in the last few months put out our newest album, Runaway Ricochet, put out Diminishing Returns.
Hell yeah, okay.
We got it. We got vinyl. It's a double LP. We got CDs. Eric just got one T-shirt design back that we already have. We have another T-shirt on the way. We have custom bandanas that we did.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
There's patches that we have, and I'm super stoked. Yeah, like the sew on.
I was gonna say patch.
That'd be fun actually.
That would be fun.
But yeah, and I think this run is gonna be great. There's a lot of hype behind the album in the ska scene in general, and we're signed to Ska Punk International, which is one of the big ska labels on the scene right now.
Okay.
So that's been super nice, and we're staying with Chris, the founder of Ska Punk International, when we were in Texas. So that's gonna be sick.
Shout out, Chris.
Yes, shout out, cool Chris. But yeah, it should be good. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you made me excited. I don't get to go, and I'm really gonna miss Sam. But like,
Yeah, I know. Julia says the same thing. She's
It's like the
"You're gonna be
worst."
gone for 2 weeks.
I was literally crying. I'm like, I don't want you to go.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
Well,
I'm
see,
glad.
Julia's
Yes.
like, oh, I get the house for.
I should be like her. Like,
weeks. she's she'll go from, oh, you're gonna be gone, and then it's like, oh yeah, but I get the house to myself to do whatever I want for 2 weeks, and no one's gonna bother me or bug me. So
you know.
it's
Do you
fun.
guys have a cat?
We have 2 cats.
Okay, like, do they try to wake you up in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm.
Does it work?
Sometimes. One of our cats is pretty fat, and she
Oh my God.
she doesn't have a lot of like coordination.
Okay.
She's more of kind of like a bumbling kind of animal. She just kind of like
Sick.
trips over stuff and like So she's usually the one that wakes us up.
Because she
in the middle of the
falls?
night. Yeah, well, she'll
That's
just
crazy.
like hop up on the bed and then just stomp all over you and like with no like remorse but then that's Willow.
Oh, okay.
And Ezra is he's our slinky little boy. He's like, he could hop up on the bed and you wouldn't even know. Actually, he does that. He hops up on the bed and you'll be laying there, and then you'll roll over and he's just staring down at you.
Oh, hell no.
From,
I don't know
right
if
behind your head, and you don't even feel him get there. You just like roll over and you're like, oh Jesus, what the
Okay.
heck?
Yep.
So that's,
mini
the
heart
cat,
attack in both ways.
the cat
Okay.
dichotomy at our home. So yeah, she'll have to deal with that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't miss me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sorry, I leave my cat, I go to my parents. Not the whole time. I have to feed him, obviously, but because this is what happens, right? I'll be trying to sleep, and I'm already scared. And then the doors close because I don't want him bothering me, and he, like, turns on the computer, he swipes at the lights, like he's a monster.
That's awesome.
And, like, I close the door, and then he starts scratching at the bottom of the door,
Oh, yeah.
and he knocks on
Does he
it.
put his little paw underneath
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that's adorable.
No, it's not. Not at 3 a.m., but... And I used to live at this other place, and my mom was spending the night over there because she was visiting,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't believe me when I told her about him knocking on the door. And
Oh, so
but
she got to witness
yeah,
the
and
terror.
but he used to, like, I used to have a weaker door, and so he used to open the door, he used to come in, and so she was sleeping in there, and he comes in, and he, like, sits in the chair, and she said that he was swinging himself around the chair. And I'm like, hell no.
What?
I'm like, nah, no.
What a
So,
weird
yeah.
little guy.
He's rude,
Is
but
that
he's
Buddy?
orange. Yeah, it's Buddy. He's
Yeah,
my favorite
he's-
cat in the entire world, but
He is.
he's a menace.
Yeah. Yeah, the orange ones are usually menaces.
And I was looking it up on Google, and I couldn't believe orange cat, whatever, is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Especially the big boy. He's
He's big boy.
big. Yeah, he's a very big boy. I got to pet him once, and
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Aw. I'm sure he liked you too.
Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Meow. So, let's get into Beneath Green. What do you got going on with Beneath Green right now?
Beneath Green. Beneath Green doesn't have anything on the calendar at the moment. We're doing more studio stuff as of late. So, what was our last show? I'm trying to think. Last year we had I think our last show was 7th Street Entry. I can't remember.
Yeah,
with
I think it was
who.
too.
Green. Yes. So Beneath Green is we don't have anything on the books right now.
Mhm.
Nathan, our bassist and vocalist, and kind of it's his brainchild. He's the one
Okay.
is Beneath Green. Actually,
Yeah.
funny story,
Okay.
little tangent. Beneath Green, its first iteration was a high school jazz combo.
Oh.
And so I student taught in 2016 at Rosemount High School, and Nathan was a senior at Rosemount
Wow.
at the same time.
Okay.
And so I knew Nathan as a student at Rosemount, and I actually played in Beneath Green with them at Jazz Central Studios for like an off-campus recital.
Wow.
Like they like booked a show as high schoolers at Jazz Central Studio and played, and I went there to play with them as their teacher, basically. It's super interesting. And so many years later, I'm not teaching now. I'm not a teacher. It's fine.
Were you going for that?
Yeah, I have a music ed degree.
Oh, okay.
So, I never taught because I realized way too late that just the public school system is kind of
It's bad.
kind of a disappointment. So,
Yeah.
I didn't do that. But
Sorry.
anyway, like 3-4 years later, I go back up to Minneapolis to go to IPR.
Oh my God.
And I'm studying audio production and engineering there. And one of the guys that is at IPR with me is the drummer for a band called the Arcanes, which I don't think is around anymore. But Nathan is playing trumpet for the Arcanes.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how we kind of got connected again. And at this point, he's going to University of Minnesota for music ed. And shout out Nate, he's actually teaching now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's really cool.
Good on you.
Yeah.
I mean, congrats on getting that high school band director position.
Absolutely.
Good job holding out for that, because I couldn't do it.
It's okay, you know. And I like that you knew that and like you went in a different direction.
Like, I'm glad that I got the degree. I think it was beneficial to just like my work ethic. I
Yeah.
think, like, if anything, like I had to like buckle down and do like way more work than everybody else.
Oh.
That was, doing like a performance degree or
For
what
sure.
have you. Like the music ed track is just like needs some kind of revamp because it's just like, there was a point where I was taking 18 credits and I had to go to like 16 classes a week.
No.
I was like, what the heck is
Sir,
going on here? But,
absolutely not.
yeah, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we can get into education at some point, but yeah, and I ran back into Nate, and that's kind of how we met. So like, I knew him when I was teaching, and then I ran into him again at IPR, and then fast forward to COVID and lockdown.
Okay.
He hits me up, and he and our friend Bridger had been writing some songs just like over the phone, and they had 5 songs that they had kind of like fleshed out, and they're like, hey, we want to record this. And I was like, sweet, let's do it. And I like, everything was closed, so we recorded 5 songs basically in my attic at my apartment was like 2 levels. It was on the 2nd and 3rd story of a house, and it was super sweaty. There was no AC. We couldn't run the AC at the same time that the amps were on. Otherwise, the breaker would blow. So we would turn the AC off, take like 3 takes, and then shut the amps off and turn the AC back on. And it's like such a weird, silly little setup. But that's how we recorded our first EP. And then, and then our full-length album we recorded. I was working at IPR as admissions for a while, and so we used IPR quite a bit for that. And then we also used Minneapolis Recording Company, where I was working after IPR shut down. Mm-hmm. So, so that's how we did our most recent full-length album. And right now, Nate has about 6 songs that we have been kind of slowly working through, and at the moment we don't have anything on the books for performance, so Nate's kind of focusing on getting those recorded. So that's kind of what we're doing for the next couple months, is overproducing 5 songs. He kind of wants to go like Steely Dan route, where like we like really take some time in the studio and like experiment with sounds and bring in guest artists and like really kind of like hone 5 songs and make them like really, really nice. So
it's nice.
So that's what Beneath Green's up to right now, is just kind of in studio mode. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that kind of works out in the grand scheme of things, just because, tour, and then, kind of like getting moments to chill, because,
most definitely.
You've got a lot going on. So, but yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And then the Confused is just confusing.
Okay. Then, what do you do for the Confused? Are you
play saxophone every once in a while,
Every once in a while,
I don't feel like it, No, it's fun. The Confused is a interesting conglomeration of folks.
Conglomeration.
Yeah, it's good. They're just like the funnest time. Like, it's just a bunch of silly guys making music. Oh, Glee too. Bunch of silly folks making music, and that's it's. I appreciate that band because it's really good music. The commitment level is not necessarily like the most, and like I always know I'm gonna have a fun time. Yeah. Playing with them, so that's fun. Yeah. We have a show on. Wait, hold on. Oh, this won't drop in time. We just had a show at Eagles 34. So.
Wait, when is it?
Saturday night.
It's on Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Sorry.
It was 2 nights ago. Yeah.
That's right. Talk in the future so that we can talk in the past. That's pretty cool. I heard it was great. So.
Yeah. It was a really fun time. You should have been there.
Really should have been there.
It's kind of unfortunate that you weren't there. Maybe there'll be some stories, Instagram stories or something that you can watch.
Yeah, What Eagles 34? I've never been there before.
I haven't either, so we'll see. I guess they have multiple stages.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about them. So
how's that possible? You've been there already. You played the show already.
Oh yeah. No, it was great. Gosh.
Got your ass.
Oh no. Fooled again. All right, I'm out. I'm done.
No, literally, let's get into how you record people. And I want to say that I really appreciate how you record, because when I was recording my vocals, you were there, and I just kept doing something, and I think it was somebody else, or in reality, those are the names of the songs, by the way.
Mhm.
It wasn't, it was him that was there. But anyway, and I kept going for these vocals over and over. And I don't know if you remember this, but like, I got to a point where I was straining my voice, and you told me to like, hey, I think maybe, chill back a little bit and try to like go in a different direction, like a lighter direction. So how do you go about making those decisions? And thank you.
Yeah, of course. So that's a great question, actually. So as I've kind of progressed through my career as an engineer, I definitely prefer to be the person in the seat that just like keeps their head down, hits record, makes sure everything is sounding as good as it can, and like maybe give a little bit of feedback if necessary. Right. I don't necessarily prefer to be in a producer role.
Okay.
In the recording studio, I definitely prefer to be in like the audio engineer role in the studio. That being said, those two roles nowadays are essentially the same a lot of the time.
Yeah.
As far as how I record people, I guess I don't it's tough to say.
Take your time. No, literally. I will say I did ask him for feedback, or Sam did. So yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like, and I have to kind of feel the room out too. It's like, because and a lot of the times what I am seeking out as an engineer, and what usually even just kind of comes my way, just because that's the area that I put myself in, is a full band who has 4 songs or an album that they have pretty much like to the point where they feel confident in their ability to record that. And so my job as an engineer is to make their audio sound as clean and clear and good as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Shut it, Siri.
I can't believe it. That's kind of funny. She was like, I don't know, I don't get it. Like, you're a robot.
So most of the time it's bands that already kind of have a concept framed out, and there's not much where I have to be like, let's try this at the bridge, like that, I can just be like, cool, that sounded great, or like, oh hey, like if the timing felt a little weird here, I have the education background necessary to be able to communicate effectively with musicians. And so I can say like, hit on the 4 instead of the and of 4 here, because there's 2 people that are doing this rhythm and 2 people that are doing this rhythm.
Yep.
Like, we should maybe adjust that so that it's more cohesive, or things like that. But like, as far as like actually like giving production feedback, I love having a couple other ears in the room with me.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes find myself so funneled in on like making sure things are like sounding good as like a recording, that sometimes I'll miss, I'll see the forest through the trees and miss like, I mean, it's usually not this crazy, but like, oh, you're not singing in the right key or something weird, like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I think just the biggest thing is like, I have the ability to read music. I have the ability to use the terminology that's necessary and that musicians will understand. And so I'm able to give feedback in a way that's a little bit more concrete than like a vibe, I suppose, which I feel like some...
should say good vibe check. Hold on,
oh,
is that what it says? It's like...
Vibe check.
That's
nice.
funny.
That's
but
awesome.
like, back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So when I'm giving feedback, it's like, when I'm like working kind of more in a producer role, it's I'm not like writing a song.
Right.
I'm helping to make the song that's written be as tight and as clean and as, understandable, I guess, as possible.
Yeah. Like, you're bringing it to life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a lot of times, like, I know I'm a creative individual and I have ideas as a person, but like a lot of times, like, I work with so many musicians who are just like so amazingly good, that I'm just like, what the heck? And so sometimes I just kind of feel like a vessel
Yeah.
to like have these musicians play through.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not necessarily creating the song. I'm blossoming the song, I guess. I don't know, like blooming the songs. I don't know how to, like I can only describe it in emotions.
You're melding the beauties together, and
Right.
you're finding the different. You're finding what other people can't see because they've been playing together for so long.
That's a nice way to put it.
I can see the wheels turning in your head. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
something that like this is something that I have thought a lot about personally lately as well. So it's something that I've even been trying to like,
Yeah.
what is my role and how do I best accomplish what I need to for the musicians that I'm working with?
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely I appreciate the heck out of that question because that's
Thank
something
you.
that I'm asking myself every day. So
I appreciate you appreciating
yeah,
it
of
for
course,
real.
Yeah. So I guess that's whatever the heck you can chop out of that is what
Yeah.
I said. So.
And that's really beautiful because you can really tell how passionate someone is about something when they can't exactly explain it. Like,
For
because
sure,
you
yep.
know that they're taking the time to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if they're like right almost about to say it and then they kind of change it, you're still figuring it out. And I
Yeah,
think that's
it's
great. You
Yep.
know.
yeah, you nailed that one. That was good. And that
Got you, bro.
hell yeah. Nice. Can I say that on air?
Oh yeah, I've been
Heck yeah.
cursing this entire time.
Oh shit.
Usually people like don't they don't notice it.
Oh,
and
I've
then
been trying
they
really
curse,
hard not to.
And that is so
I just
sweet,
don't
and
know
like
if I
people
should
do
or not,
that.
like-
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like I said, it's a conversation. People curse conversations every day, you know.
Yeah.
Especially you and me, like we're just like.
I wonder if I have actually.
Like without realizing it?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
On this, I haven't at all. Nice. Hell yeah.
Except for when you just brought it up, and I don't think I noticed. So maybe you did. I don't know. We'll figure it out when
Yeah, I
I'm
suppose
editing it.
in post you can just like supercut all my swearing all together.
You don't want them in there?
No, you have to make one big
Oh.
one
Shit,
big
fuck
reel
up.
of me just like swearing the whole time. Yeah.
I'll be like, did you know what Mason Meyers said on this date and time, January 10th of 2025?
Jasmine's like, this is the new episode of Musicality Mondays. Shit, fuck, shit, piss, ass.
And that's
It's
it.
like-
And that's it.
It's like a 45-second
That'd
cut
be
of
some
like me
shit,
just
bro.
swearing the whole time. Like, wow.
Just like, bet you didn't know you said this. Bet you didn't know you said this.
Oh my lord.
But like, with that being said, like, how did you get into production? Like, did it come at a later time in life? Then,
Yeah, it
since-
did.
Okay.
I had no interest in it when I was in undergrad. Even
Okay.
when I was in high school, I had a really awesome band director who kind of got me to appreciate music in a way that I hadn't before, to the point where I went to school for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that wasn't necessarily what I was like planning to do, I suppose. I was kind of teetering on going to school for architecture maybe, or some kind of, I guess, engineering,
Okay.
but in like a different
Yeah,
sense
exactly.
of the word.
It's just like, so it was there, but
Yeah, I
it's not
suppose it kind
there.
of was. But yeah, so I mean, I wasn't necessarily like gung ho on music, and then I had like a really passionate band director who kind of brought a lot out of me, and like to the point where like in like senior year of high school, I had band independent study, and like I had like a study hall where I'd go to band, and then I also did TA.
Okay.
Like a band TA. So I was in the band room for like 4 periods of the day. And so I would practice all the time.
Wow.
And like, I felt like I had a bunch of catching up to do for like all the years of high school until senior year, even part of senior year. I would just go home and play like Guitar Hero and like hang out with friends. So like I always think too, like if I would have just like played saxophone for all the hours that I played Guitar Hero, I would be so good at saxophone. But I was just playing Guitar Hero instead, but whatever. I had
Yeah, you had to have fun. You know?
yeah, I gold starred for like every song on Guitar Hero 3, but that's neither here nor there.
No, it's here. It's now.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just kidding,
Should we
but-
break it out and just
Yeah.
break it down?
I was never good at that game, so teach me.
Oh yeah, it's
Do you still have it?
I do. Yeah, I have
Hell yeah.
I have my PlayStation 2 and my Xbox 360 are both in store. I haven't turned them up for a while, but I've got all my guitars and everything, but
Nice.
yeah, But anyway, I enough of Guitar Hero.
Man.
No, so and then I ended up going to school for music ed, and I like didn't, I wasn't even engineering wasn't even like on my radar. I mean, I kind of understood like the closest I got to what I do now. When I was at UNI, the University of Northern Iowa. I played in their jazz bands, and I was able to record every year. The jazz band one would record an album, and so I played on albums, and I was in like part of the recording process as a musician. But even then, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like
That's
it was
crazy.
Like, yeah, it was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just play the songs that I'm playing, and the parts I mess up, he just wants me to play those measures, and I was like, okay, sweet. And then I graduated, and then after that, I started hanging out with my good friend Ashton, who also owns the tattoo shop we talked about a long time ago. But yeah, so Ashton and I, probably about 2015, 2016, started hanging out quite a bit, and he was doing deep house production. Like he was doing like, he was DJing shows and stuff like locally and like around Iowa. So
Okay.
yeah, and so he and I just kind of started just like making random music together. He showed me FL Studio. That's how I started, was on FL Studio.
Okay.
And I would just go over to his place, and we'd just like smoke a bunch of weed and like just make the dumbest music imaginable, and like got to a point where like I started to understand conceptually what was going on, and I got FL on my computer, and I started just making. He was making like deep house stuff, like kind of drum and bassy. I was making kind of more like lo-fi boom bap stuff, and when we got together, we just made the weirdest, like super weird, random.
It's like
things.
those two things together. It's like,
yeah,
whoa, man.
it was interesting. But so then I started making stuff on my own. I actually a lot of like hip hop vibes, boom bap, and like kind of neo soul, and like I was to the point where I bought a Focusrite 18920.
There you go.
I was running that into my HP Spectre laptop or some random thing.
What?
And I had FL on that. I bought a Shure drum mic kit and some Yamaha HS8s, and my uncle sold me a drum kit, vintage Ludwig, like 1978 or 79 drum kit that had original drum heads on it.
Oh my God.
And they did. It's at the studio now. I just replaced them. Sam helped me with it, but I just like played on the original drum heads, like so I just like set up a drum kit, and I was living. So at this point, I was living back at my parents' place. Julia and I were living there, and saving up for me to move to Minneapolis, us to move to Minneapolis to go to IPR, because like I had like from 2016 to 2017, I was kind of amassing this stuff, and I was like doing beat production, and I was even I was like doing a little bit of like the sampler like beat pad stuff, and just kind of really like exploring FL Studio, and I was recording saxophone over top of all of it and stuff like that. I got what mic did I have? I think I started with like a Yeti something. It was like a USB mic or something.
Yeah, like a Yeti Blue, I think maybe.
Yeah, it might have been that. It was garbage.
Yeah, it's not the best mic. I had it was a USB, you said, right?
Yeah.
It had like a little tiny thing on there and then like a body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
Yeah, and I was using that, and I was to the point where I was like playing some bass on my tracks. I was writing all the drum parts on a kit and then chopping that up, and then like I just kind of like fell in love with it from that, It's like, and the crazy thing is, after I graduated from college, and this was spring of 2016. After I graduated, I didn't touch saxophone for like 6 months, 8 months. Like I just didn't play. Like I kind of just like fell out of music
Oh,
and
wow.
I was working. Well, I shouldn't say I fell out of music. I just wasn't making anything.
Okay.
I was working as a like painter, I guess. I worked at like a property management company.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like painting apartments. So I just like listen to music all
Yeah.
day while I was like painting apartments. And that's when I, between that and meeting Ashton and like starting to like make my own music, then then it kind of, exploring this new avenue of music, I think was like where the love came from. And so, yeah, I just amassed all that stuff. I found IPR, the Institute of Production Recording. I've mentioned it a couple times already, but I was kind of looking around for schools to go to for engineering, mostly because Julia's my wife also.
Yeah, shout out to Julia.
Shout out to Julia, Bejeweled Minneapolis on Instagram. She
Oh,
does
yeah,
hair. Bejeweled Nails. She does press-on nails.
Wow.
Apotheosis. I'll have to spell it out or something, but she
Wait,
does.
does she do acrylic too?
Is that what press-on nails are? I don't
Well,
know.
no, it's so press-on nails are like something that you can buy at Target. But, like, acrylic nails, like you have to like, they have to be like put on and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they have like the UV light and stuff
Yeah,
or whatever.
well,
or is it like I
that's
don't
like
know.
that
I don't-
one's like. Oh, we'll talk
I
about
just
it later.
watch
I
her
don't-
do it and then think it's very amazing. But
It's incredible.
yeah.
So,
But
thank you.
yeah, so Julia and I were looking for an out because we were living in my hometown.
Iowa.
Yeah, Waterloo, Iowa.
Waterloo. That's where someone else is from. I can't remember their name right now. Sorry.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. There's nothing going on. So basically, we were at the point where, Julia had graduated from cosmetology school, and she was working at a salon. And we were at the point where it's like, okay, we're either gonna like buy a house,
Right.
and like have kids or something, or like we can leave, and, like
Oh, okay. So
do something cool. Like
yeah,
so.
yeah.
It was not that hard of a decision. Actually, I brought it up and she was like, please,
Please, let's go.
I want to get out of here. So, yeah. So, I mean, I had been like making music and was looking for a way to kind of like streamline that. And so I found IPR, and Minneapolis it's 3.5 hours away from home. So I can still get to family, on the holidays and stuff. But it was like bigger and there was more opportunity than Iowa. So we moved back to my parents' place and saved a bunch of money for like 8 months. And then we moved up here and I started school, and it was great. I will say, like, I mean, there's kind of like mixed feelings about like for-profit trade school kind of vibe. But like, I got to say, they hired really good instructors who were involved in the scene, and they had really good gear. So if you were there, it was very beneficial.
Good.
So there was like probably a group of like 6 people that were always there.
Okay.
And so we would just always use, we'd always have the studios booked out. We'd always be the ones who are working on projects and trying to bring musicians in and stuff. And so, I mean, it definitely streamlined and jump-started my progress in the engineering scene. And then at that point I was like, let's hit it. So, and then I graduated from IPR in 2019.
Okay.
And immediately started working there. Well, I shouldn't say. So I graduated from 2019. Graduated IPR 2019. Okay. Hello.
See you. Okay.
Yeah. No. I guess. Quick recap. I was fired. I was laid off from IPR in 2021. Ashton at the tattoo shop was looking for somebody to help book his clients and make sure his calendar was clean, and he was paying me cash for that. I was also getting unemployment from IPR at that time too, and then he asked for a raise because he was on commission.
Okay.
So he was 50-50 commission. He asked for 10% more to pay me. Boss said no. So then he decided he was going to open his own shop. So we were looking around for spots during the time. So between November 2021 and March 2022, he was booked out and he had closed his books. So that was as far as he was booked out. And in that time frame, I was doing all of his business, like, making sure that his licensing was good, his business licensing was good, his health inspections were getting scheduled, just organizational elements that helped him while he was finishing out his final clients at his old shop. And we were also looking around for a place to rent. We were we toured like 3 or 4 different spots. And Julia works in Uptown at a salon called Evolution. Check it out. And her bosses own the building as well. They had just recently purchased the building from the previous owner. So, because the salon had been there for like maybe 20 years or something, or something like that. It was there for quite a while, and they were renting, and they had expanded like 2 or 3 times, and then they bought the building from the previous owner. And Julia, we were just so happened that we were visiting Julia at the salon because we were touring a place that was nearby, and the building owners were like, "Hey, we've got a spot, like that might be good," because it was a woman who was tattooing out of there, and it was like a private 1-booth shop.
Oh.
And she had moved into another space in the building to expand. And so that space was open, and they were like, "Hey, you want to check it out?" So we walked in, and we were just like, "Yeah, perfect."
Yay!
So like,
Yay!
we found the spot, and I was working right down the hall from Julia.
I got cute.
So, yeah, and so we started doing. I mean, there wasn't much we had to do. We built a desk for him, and we painted the walls and decorated. It's very nautical themed in his tattoo shop, so we did a bunch of just like random thematic things to make it look. I love Ashton because he has an eye for like detail. He's somebody I love. Like, I've brought him into the studio before, and like he's just like, "You need to do this."
Like, immediately.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, "Okay, buddy," but then there's other times where I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know what I'm saying? That's the relationship that Ashton and I have.
That's cute.
But yeah, so I was doing that, and I don't know where we're going from here, but it's the old tattoo shop. Hi, Ashton.
The tale of the tattoo shop. No, but yeah, one day I'll know. I want something that really means something to me.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm at too. Well, okay, so I didn't think I'd ever get a tattoo because there's nothing I can think of that means enough to me that I'd be like, "Oh, I really want that forever." And then Ashton is apprenticing, and he's like, "I need to tattoo people."
Oh, my God, cute. Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, I mean, I'll do a $60 tattoo."
Do you have fun?
I do. I have 2. I've got this one.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. I've actually seen that, yeah.
Like a saxophone fingering chart in kind of the theme of like a schematic. I don't know how well the camera can see it.
I'll zoom in the best that I can. Go a little closer.
Got that.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know. Yeah.
So I've got that. That was $60. It was
$60.
Maybe like one of the first handful of tattoos that Ashton did, and then I got this one from him.
Yeah, I like that too. What's
maze.
That about?
I don't know. I was just.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at this tattoo after I got it,
and
I was like, I was kind of coming to terms with the fact that it was going to be on me forever. So I was trying to memorize it, and and I was like, it kind of feels like a maze to try to like memorize. And I was like, wait, a maze would actually be kind of sick. So I was like, "Hey, will you do a maze for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So he did this, and now I can solve it whenever I want.
I got this one, and it's my the band logo for Crushed in a Place. And so when I was getting it, I had this friend tell me, "Hey, don't get the words on there because something can happen," and like whatever. And I'm just like, whatever, you don't know anything. But then I ended up doing this, and every time I look at it, I tell myself, because it also had another meaning of just like darkness coming to light.
Oh yeah.
So like the lightning strikes on the one that has light on it, like comes out, and then the darkness stays in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I love looking at it every day.
Sick.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I forget that I even have this, to be honest.
I mean, but I don't know.
Tattoos are cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like some of the work that he puts out specifically too is just like amazing.
It's incredible.
It's Gruyay Tattoo. Gruyay.
You better know
Gruyay.
I love the shout outs. I love when people shout out their people. I think it's really cool.
Fun. But yeah, no, he's gotten exceptionally good at tattooing. Like, it's nice too because he's booked out enough to where like he doesn't even necessarily like if he gets someone who inquires, like we're pretty specific on the form about like what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And what will be accepted and what we will not do for sure. Things like that. But it's nice because he's been doing it long enough to where he can be pretty specific about like what he does take on.
Yeah.
And so that really helps him then to like super hone what he's doing. So like snakes, flowers,
He'll do that.
swords.
Sports is crazy.
What else has he been doing? Those are
Yeah,
kind of
I
the
haven't-
staples, but
I haven't looked at it in a while, but every time I see it, it's breathtaking. So
wyverns.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a dragon.
Dragons.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. I like working there.
Yeah. So
What else you got? Anything else?
I was gonna. Well, if you like scared it away from me, no,
Oh,
but
my
I'm just
bad.
kidding. That's fine. When you were a kid, what did you want to be?
Well, when I was a kid, and my mom brings this up all the time, I told her that I either wanted to be a scientist or a garbage man.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea, to be honest. Probably the truck aspect of the garbage man thing.
You wanted to drive a truck?
I suppose so, yeah. Maybe I
Yeah.
just liked garbage, I guess. I don't know. That's why I'm an engineer. I like
Oh my
garbage.
god, that's funny.
I'm just kidding.
So when you were, well, I don't know. So did you have a dream?
I
Or do you now?
mean, things are much clearer now.
Mm.
I don't necessarily have like, I never had any like specific aspirations when I was a kid. I mean, yeah, not really. I mean, I skateboarded a lot when I was a kid. But I was never like, I want to be a professional
Right.
skateboarder. You know, I
Okay.
just did it because it was fun. And then, like in high school, I kind of emphasized just like hanging out with my friends. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing that I was like hyper focused on other than just like cultivating good friendships, I guess. Like,
That's nice.
I still stay in contact with a lot of my high school friends, and like, I don't know, I just always really enjoyed like, you know, curating the vibe. When I was in high school, my house was the place that everybody hung out.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, we were like, I was a block away from the school, so it was really easy to get there. And my room was in the basement, and there was also another room so like my room was like basically a giant square of couches. And
The floor is fire.
yeah, exactly. Like, it was just like you could sit in a big circle with like 20 people. And then there was another room in my basement that had another couple of couches and like a couple, like that's where like PlayStation was and stuff. And then there
Guitar
was
Hero.
a third room that had a sauna that just came
Oh,
with the
wow.
house for some reason. So
Okay.
like, yeah, there's some. So like when I was in high school, my focus was on like hanging.
Hanging.
Yeah, just like having a good time with the homies, basically.
homies.
And like, it was great. We had a bunch of fun. Like in my high school, it was kind of strange because there was like a specific like sporty group of folks.
Mhm.
And then I was in kind of like the band and theater
That's where I was.
folks. And those folks were the like more popular of the like
The band people?
yeah, the band and the
I love
theater
that.
folks were like the ones who were like always, you know,
Having the
kind of
parties and
considered.
stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were, I mean, the sports people would too, but we were a little more dry than they were, like alcohol wise. But we actually we knew how to have fun
without alcohol.
substances.
Yeah, because that's yeah.
Yeah, my brain was developing still, so I can't drink.
My frontal lobe wasn't fully developed. Exactly.
And look at those people now.
Oh, fuck.
Just kidding. If you're watching, whoever.
Imagine they're
that,
just like, hey, shut up.
Yeah. But no, that was kind of so there wasn't any. I never really was like, oh, I'm like hyper focused on like really developing this thing. I was just like, I'm just trying to have a fun time and like hang. Which I mean, still that's still some of that's still like kind of hosting. I guess was like what I liked to do. That was like you know, I would show up. I worked as like a line cook basically, and I would show up from work. I would get home after work and there would be people just like hanging out in my basement.
Wow.
Yeah. People would just come over. And my mom was also like, I love my mom. She's one of the chillest people ever. And she was just like, so cool with it. Like,
hell yeah.
She like, we all had like nicknames for each other and we had a nickname for her. And like, I was like, we were just like, people would come over and they'd be like, hey, what up, Kolpeck? That's her maiden name.
Oh my God.
I called her Kolpeck. And then, I mean, I was just hanging. But that's something, and that's also, you know, as back to the studio, that's something that I really hope to kind of cultivate at the space as well, is like the hang, you know?
That is true. That's really cool. That's a full circle kind of moment.
Yeah, I loved that aspect of like my life where I had a bunch of really good friends and they felt comfortable enough to just like show up to my house when I wasn't there and hang out because I had the cool spot to hang. And so like if I can cultivate something even close to that again at this recording studio, I will be so happy. If I can show up and there's people just hanging there playing video games or what have you, like that'd be phenomenal.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mason, for sharing it with us today.
Of course.
I guess I would just want to ask you, do you have any advice for someone who's like, shush.
Hungry?
Shut up, ho! For someone who's had a couple of like, hold on a second. What is it? Had a couple of hardships along the way to getting kind of to happiness. Do you have any advice for someone who's like trying to get their life to the place they want to be?
That's really tough. Because I don't know why, but I just have this mindset where I just can like super compartmentalize everything. Like to the point where like it annoys Julia. Like something difficult will happen just like in our day-to-day life and I'm just like, well, we'll just do this. And she's like,
no, I couldn't do that. Yeah, I'd be like her. I'd be like, what do you mean?
So I guess I think the biggest, I mean, I am a problem solver and a planner, and I try to be like a step ahead and have like multiple options available for like, I mean, I try to anticipate things and I try to fix them quickly when they go wrong. So I don't know. It's tough. And I'm also really good at just like not like overreacting about something or becoming too emotional, sometimes to my detriment. That's something that I definitely have to work on. And I've been told I need to work on by my mom that I need to be a little bit more emotionally available. But like, yeah, it's it's tough. I mean, I've definitely had my fair share of hardships, but I'm just like, I mean, just be logical about it, I guess. Like, that's as cold as it sounds. Like, you just gotta have some plan B's and plan C's and like.
That's really good advice, actually.
Or find something that's going to at least help alleviate some, something, even if it's just like not thinking about it. Like, I do that all the time. I'm so good at just like it's so weird because like I'll have something where like I get like in a situation where like somebody would be like stressed or like freaked out. Like I it's so weird because I'll have just like ping of stress, and then I'm just like, oh. Like, it just goes away so quickly. And I don't know how or why. And at the end of the day, I think it's just because, like, I do what I can to the best of my ability, and if it doesn't work out, then it didn't. So,
I mean, in a way, like,
whatever.
I think, maybe there could be balancing. I have no idea, but that's kind of healthy, because there's not much you can do about
Yeah, I mean, it's
things
beneficial, definitely sometimes, but I do see where it can be something that's, like, unhealthy.
Yes.
If it's not, like, but I try to be mindful of it at least.
Yeah, good.
Like, and so if I can at least be, like, considering the fact that maybe I'm not taking this seriously enough, or
Right.
that,
Exactly.
then at least I can try to, see something from a different, or, like, I don't know. It's so weird. I guess if I had to give some kind of advice to someone that's going through a hardship, it's just time keeps going. Like, things move on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
That's true.
it's gonna be tough. Like, there's gonna be tough stuff that happens, but, like, next year it's not gonna be as tough. So it's like,
okay, yes.
regardless of what it is, it's it's not gonna be as hard. That's just how it works. Like,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's weird. that's bad advice, probably. It's
Well,
for some occasions, I guess, at least, but
well,
I don't know. Most problems that people have are, like, pretty menial, so it's just like, unless it's something major,
right.
you could probably just consider that, and then it becomes less of, like, a scary thing, or, like, a
Yeah,
painful
I guess,
thing.
or like, yeah. So, like, there's, like, someone said something like what you just said, of just like, if it's not gonna matter in 6 months, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
As much, at least. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like,
Deadlines are good if you can, like, give yourself some kind of, if it's, like, an issue where, like, you have to do something or get something done, like, or, like, people are relying on you or things like that, like,
yeah.
I don't know, having, like, a goal.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
getting
Goal
to it,
setting is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do that a lot, where I, have, like, and I do it very, like, I don't really, like, sit and think about it. It's more so just, like, day to day, like, I'm like, these are the things I need to get done today, and then these are the things I need to get done, like, this week, and, like, I don't even, like, really write them down or anything. Like, I've tried, like, having, like, a book or something,
Or like a calendar or anything?
Yeah, no, like, I have a calendar for, like, if I have scheduled events.
Oh,
but,
sure.
like, for
Okay.
things that, like, I need to do, it's
yeah.
usually just kind of mostly just rumbling around
I get that.
up in one of the compartments that
Yeah.
that I have. But
That's a good way to put that, compartments.
yeah, I mean, that's basically how I, like, run my life. And sometimes it sucks because, like, Julia will say, we're doing this, on this day, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then it just kind of, like,
no.
oh, shoot, like, and then so I try to write down, like,
okay.
I try to do, like, if there's an event, I try to have it on, like, something that I can look at, because I've just double booked myself today. So
With what?
I have a sectional on Monday night with Runaway Ricochet, and Nate wanted to record on Monday night
Oh, okay.
as well, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Oh, I thought you meant like today. Like,
No,
like you had
it's on
some-
Monday,
so,
but
okay.
I scheduled them
Yeah,
both.
today.
Yeah, so
Aw.
hopefully you figured that one out, me,
Me. That's hilarious.
because that's tonight.
that's oh my god, it would be. That's crazy. Well, good luck to you, future Mason. I hope you
Yeah,
figure it
right?
out. Okay. Well, everyone, make sure that you go follow Mason on Instagram at moosehat_Meyers, and then Greenway Recording _MPLS, which is Minneapolis, because we're in the Minneapolis area, baby.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, go follow everything that he's doing. There's gonna be a lot of video content coming to you. So yeah. And thank you so much for watching Musicality Mondays. Make sure you go get yourself some Musicality Mondays hoodies and donate and share if you can. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Scene.
Scene.